shop, at a table in the corner where the sun shines through. My fiancée Mary looked down apologetically, and broke the news of our separation.
I guess that's how it is. I'm moving to a remote rural area next month. If the roles were reversed, I think I'd break it off too.
We were co-workers turned lovers, about to get married soon. However, I was reassigned from the headquarters to a rural area starting next month, from a bustling city to a countryside. Though we harbored a faint hope of living together, she decided to stay here.
Goodbye. We can still see each other for a while, but take care over there.
A trivial breakup between lovers. When it was decided we'd be in a long-distance relationship, many paths unfolded. It was just that ours led to separation. Neither of us was to blame. It was just the upcoming changes in our surroundings. That was all there was to it. Until I discovered the secret she had been keeping, I truly believed that. My name is Michael Sullivan, 32 years old. I work in a manufacturing plant for a precision equipment company, handling the assembly line for office automation devices. We work in teams, some assembling parts, others soldering, and so on, everyone meticulously carrying on with their tasks. I'm sort of the team leader, carefully inspecting the finished products for any defects or minor scratches. It's a job that involves a lot of overtime during the busy season, but as someone who enjoys working quietly, it suits me.
Michael, have these parts arrived yet?
That energetic question came from Lisa Robinson, a colleague who is 3 years younger than me.
Well, they won't be delivered until the day after tomorrow. But that might cut it close to the deadline.
As I checked the order history on the computer, Lisa leaned over to peek at the screen. Whoa. That's a little too close. Not being used to much female interaction, I couldn't help but blush. Seeing my reaction, she chuckled.
I'm flattered you're blushing, but I'm off limits if you're already taken.
With that, she turned away with a huff, and went back to work. Boy, why am I the one getting the cold shoulder here? Truth is, I'm already seeing someone from work. Her name is Mary Williams. She works in the production technology department as an administrative assistant, who is Lisa's colleague as well. I'm on the manufacturing line, and Mary is in the office, which shows our paths rarely crossed. One day, a colleague of mine from the production technology department brought me to a bar, and Mary was also there.
It's Michael, right? Nice to meet you.
It was love at first sight. She had a smile that could light up a room, and always laughed along even at our silliest stories. I figured she must be popular, which made me too nervous to make a move that night. But as she occupied more and more of my thoughts, I finally mustered up the courage to ask her out. Luckily, Mary and I shared a common interest in golf.
Would you be interested in going to the driving range with me sometime?
For a guy with not much experience with women, I thought that was pretty bold of me. She seemed surprised at first, but then smiled and accepted the invitation. Just like that, we started dating more regularly, and now it's been 2 years. I finally succeeded in proposing to her recently, and we've just started planning our wedding. Although I'm not rich or particularly handsome, with Mary, I truly believe that we could cherish the little joys and be a wonderful couple.
Sorry. You said a rural branch.
It came out of nowhere. Just when life seemed to be going smoothly, a storm hit. I was summoned by Jason, the line supervisor, and immediately informed of a sudden personnel transfer. Getting such orders in my office was something I'd never heard of before.
Can I ask a reason?
I managed to ask, to which Jason explained.
The materials we're producing at the factory are for a new office automation product we're planning to launch, but the process seems a bit complicated. I went to check it out, but there's a lot I couldn't figure out. I thought you were the right person for the job.
As he spoke with scratching his head, I couldn't help but feel a bit frustrated. just because he is supposed to more mature and experienced than me. Yet, bringing up such a proposal almost seemed like he was admitting to his own incompetence. My company adopts a performance-based system for career advancement. To be honest, Jason isn't exactly known for his work efficiency, but he's pretty good at communicating with the higher-ups. He has a knack for presenting the team's work as his own, and often dumps the task of preparing meeting materials onto his colleagues. Employees working under him, myself included, secretly harbor resentment.
Excuse me, but to suddenly ask me to go to the rural branch, I'd like to take some time to think about it.
Jason grabbed my shoulder with a firm grip to attempt to convince me with raising his voice.
So, you see, you're the right person for the job. I've already talked to the plant manager over there and our HR department here. Do me a favor and go, will you?
No way. Is he moving forward with such an important matter without even waiting for my reply? Overwhelmed by the sudden transfer orders, I found myself speechless. After finishing the conversation with Jason, I headed to the cafeteria for my lunch break.
I really don't feel like eating.
I picked up just a salad from the fridge section and sat down.
Oh, you're not eating much. Are you feeling okay?
Before I knew it, Lisa had approached me with a look of concern.
Yeah, I'm just a bit overwhelmed.
Hesitantly, I shared the news of the transfer with her. Thankfully, the cafeteria was relatively empty that day. As I finished my quiet explanation, she looked down with lost in thought.
Michael, isn't that just Jason trying to cover his own tracks? It feels like he's pushing his responsibilities onto you, doesn't it?
Of course, I was aware of that much. However, Jason had already set things in motion, and turned that transfer into an official company order. I was feeling down, but something in Lisa's next words caught my attention.
Could it be, Jason has another reason for insisting on you? Oh, never mind.
She cut herself off suddenly and covered her mouth in haste. Her suspicious behavior made me press her for answers.
What do you mean? Do you know something?
However, she didn't answer my questions and quickly excused herself.
I have work to do.
And left there. Of course, I had to inform Mary as my fiancée about the transfer to the branch. The idea of being apart like in a long-distance relationship, between a big city and a countryside, was unthinkable to me. Even though we aren't married yet, I start to consider the bold move of starting to live together. The rural area has several resort golf courses, and moving there could mean leisurely golf weekends together, not such a bad life after all. Thinking this way, life in the countryside doesn't seem too bad. But my hopeful thinking was soon to be shattered.
I'm sorry, I can't marry you.
When I broke the news about the transfer to the rural branch at a cafe I'd asked her to meet me at over the weekend, Mary looked down apologetically and said so.
Wait a moment. We had promised to marry each other, and you even accepted my proposal, didn't you?
I couldn't help raising my voice, but she calmly responded.
That was under the assumption that you would stay at the headquarters and not veer off the promotion track.
Her words were so unexpected, I couldn't grasp what was happening. Was it implying that she had been with me just for the stability?
I can't go with you. Let's end things here.
With her eyes looked down, she said that to me. That's right, I knew it. Imagine you're suddenly hit with a,
"Hey, I've got a job transfer to a rural area. Would you come with me?"
Honestly, if I were in her shoes, I'd probably have turned it down.
So now, we can still see each other for a while, but take care once you're there.
As she stood up to leave, I wanted to hold her back, but I was too shocked to say anything. My memory of what followed is patchy. Overwhelmed by the sorrow of not being able to keep her, I bar-hopped alone. Staggering home completely drunk, I managed to reach my house and collapsed inside the entrance. Relief at being home made tears stream down my face. To think that after 2 years of being together, it would end so abruptly. Since then, Mary and I never spoke again, even when we saw each other at work. Thankfully, we were in different departments and rarely saw each other, which was a relief. I had to prepare for my transfer, and being busy was probably for the best at that time. Then came my last day at the head office. As I was saying my goodbyes to the department I had worked with, I heard Mary's voice coming from the break room. It seemed like she was deep in conversation with a colleague. Hearing her familiar voice made me reminisce about our time together. But then, I discovered a secret about her I never knew.
A guy with no prospects? No way! I'm getting married to Jason, you know, the guy rumored to be the next department head. Plus, he's handsome.
Leaning against the wall, I listened in closely. My heart pounded painfully, and sweat formed on my brow.
Wait, were you seeing someone else on the side?
No way, that sounds terrible. I was just weighing my options. I thought he had potential, but getting sent to a countryside. What a loser!
Hold on, Mary was weighing me against Jason all this time. A dark wave of emotion swirled within me, almost making me want to scream out in disbelief.
But if you start dating Jason after Michael leaves, everyone will be so shocked, won't they?
It's totally fine. If it gets awkward, I'll just quit my job then. It's Jason who will have to endure it.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe how wicked you are.
Hearing their laugh in such a high-pitched tone made me feel nauseous.
I need to get out of here.
Being caught eavesdropping would be beyond awkward. As I tried to slip away, I accidentally locked eyes with Lisa in the hallway.
Lisa.
Actually, I knew everything. I'm so sorry.
She apologized as we moved to a quieter spot in the break area.
Even though Mary was dating you, everyone knew she wasn't exactly turning down Jason's advances. I couldn't forgive her, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you, fearing it would hurt you.
As she spoke with her eyes filled with tears.
Your transfer might even be Jason's doing, a way to get you away from Mary, and have her to himself.
Even if that's true, my transfer is already decided, you know.
Stunned by my former fiancé's betrayal, I was left in a state of shock. Yet, having Lisa on my side to share in my outrage did lighten my spirits somewhat.
Thanks for keeping quiet for my sake. I feel a bit relieved now.
Well, Michael, you'll come back, right? I'll be waiting for you.
She said with a tearful smile, which made my heart skip a beat. Kindness during vulnerable times truly touched the heart. I thanked Lisa once again and watched her as she walked away. I resolved to work tirelessly in the rural branch, using the sorrow as fuel. Besides, I was aware of something. Jason was retiring within the month. Several weeks have passed since I started my new life in the countryside. My new workplace is in a 5-hour flight distance from the headquarters, where materials for new office automation equipment parts are refined. I'm invigorated daily by the factory's employees, who are constantly experimenting to create new products. Moreover, by applying the skills I acquired at the headquarters, I'm confident will generate significant profits in a few years. As for Jason, he's no longer with the company. He received his comeuppance for always currying favor with superiors while neglecting his colleagues. The employees under him, including myself, had been harboring dissatisfaction towards him for a long time. Whenever I heard their complaints, I used to intervene. However, ever since it was decided that I would go to the rural area, things started to change dramatically.
When we thought that being suddenly transferred like Michael could happen to us too, we couldn't stay silent anymore.
They said. They collaborated and compiled instances of Jason's behavior and actions that could be interpreted as harassment, and reported them to the company's labor union. Just before I left for the rural branch, there were already discussions about him retiring. Furthermore, he had apparently made advances towards several women within the office. In other words, Mary was one of them. He used his status as the next department head to charm these women, and turned out to be an utterly despicable man. As soon as all these facts came to light, Mary reached out to me again as if she had done a complete 180.
I was wrong. Please, let's start over again.
Certainly, I really loved her, but that's all in the past now. I've got someone else I want to cherish. As I'm leaving the factory, I make a call. The person on the other end. It's Lisa.
How's it going? Yeah, I'm heading home now. Alright, you take care on your way back, okay?
Even after moving here, Lisa and I keep in touch like this from time to time. There are still things I need to take care of here, and she is busy with her own work too. Once I can achieve success here, I plan to express my desire to return to headquarters. With the growth I've undergone, I believe I can finally make the person I love happy this time around.